So yeah, yesterday, Sunday evening, I spent my time watching The Lost Holiday. I went in with zero expectation, I have to say, and one thing that took me by surprise was just how many uh sort of prevailing storylines that there were. You cover so much in the way of from death, pain, family, forgiveness, even just the different types of love you can
Right.
experience. What motivated you to write such an emotionally dense script?
Oh, thank you. It was so many things in life in general. I I we've been doing press, so I've been saying this a lot, but it's not a lot of people knew that around it's coming up on a decade that I lost my dad.
Okay.
And I lost my dad the very first day of the I lost my father the day that Empire first aired on television. So when, sort of when the world kind of got to know me, I was dealing with this level of grief that I didn't really know what to do with. And I always say this, that grief kind of comes in waves, right? And peaks and valleys. And, you know, one minute you're crying, and then the next minute you are, maybe experiencing some sort of success. And then you're happy about that, but you're also feeling guilty about being happy about something. And you're also angry at the world for somehow moving on when you're just like, yo, y'all don't realize my dad is dead. Y'all didn't hear? And the
Yeah.
world just keeps on spinning. And that's very confusing sometimes and hard to navigate. It's difficult to navigate that sometimes, especially when you're dealing with such grief. Um, and then I started thinking about my mom and the fact that, Black woman who married a non-Black man, and just the things that she had dealt with certain members of his family. But then I look at, after he passed, and although my parents were already not, they weren't together. I look at my mom and I see that she has built this bond with his mom, and that really was an inspiration for my character, Jason, and Vivica's character of Cassandra. And then you throw in there of the fact that I have so many mentors that are probably 55 and above, and the experiences that they've had of losing loved ones, particularly within the AIDS epidemic,
Yeah.
and losing loved ones for whatever reason, and sort of being extracted from their lives, extracted from their legacies. And I
Mm.
started thinking about what could I do. I didn't know what to do with this grief, and I felt like I was choking on it. Um, and what I know to do is to put it into the work. Um, and so that's really where the Lost Holiday kind of was conceived. I was at a Christmas party at my friend's house. I was actually at my friend Jarrell, who ended up co-writing the script with me.
Okay.
And I just started thinking about it. It was like 8 years ago, because I needed to do something, because I almost started to resent my own success because I didn't know what to do with all of that. I was felt so disconnected from it, with everything that had happened on the eve of that success. Uh, and then we came up with the Lost Holiday, and 8 years later, here we are, blessed to talk to you, about it.
No, thank you. I mean, again, yeah, you've covered so much there. And it's interesting, isn't it, as we kind of move through life.
Yeah.
There's this thing of us having a pain body
Mm,
to go through life. You're just adding and adding and adding. So
so true.
um, I could imagine it was quite cathartic then for you to channel that and get this through in the
It
film.
was, and it is. It's not always easy to. Um, I imagine that this is a much smaller, much smaller level of what it's like to uh, have your child and then send your child to school. Where it's like, okay, so now here, this has been my baby for so long. This story that that I haven't had to talk about. I haven't had to talk about the necessarily the pain, my own pain that's associated with the creation of this story. And
Was
so
it
to
making, right?
hmm?
8 years in the making.
8 years in the making, 8 years in the making. And Lord knows, so much has happened for me and to me, both privately, personally, and publicly. So, just navigating that has been interesting. But I'm just blessed. I'm so grateful. I can't say it enough how grateful I am that I am still here, you know, and still physically here, because there was a lot of things working against it, and as it is with all of us, you know, and you know, I don't think that people realize, the human to human, how difficult it is sometimes just to get up and exist within the world, you know, just to get up and exist within your own mind. Sometimes that can be difficult. So I'm grateful. That's all. That's really what I can say.
Well, I mean, again, we're keeping it on the heavy topics, but we'll move on momentarily. But another theme that you explore is the same-sex marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Both your characters, Jason and Damien.
Mm-hmm.
And Jabari, I'm going to speak to you in a moment, but just Jussie, to yourself, you've mentioned in previous interviews that one thing you want to do in your art is show representation.
Sure.
Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, you know, for me, I always think about the roles that I've been so blessed to be able to play, and the roles that I have not created, but then, you know, booked and got cast as, and was able to help build the characters. And now these characters that I'm creating myself. Um, it's such a blessing to represent, you know, a rather underrepresented crew and group of people. And I do feel that if I had the certain characters that I've been blessed to play, that other amazing actors and actresses have been blessed to play, I probably would have had a different understanding earlier on of who I was, and a different understanding of the fact that I was just fine as I was. Um, and so I just think that, you know, art can change things either for the better or the worse. And I think that with this platform that I've been blessed enough to be given, and granted, I've worked my butt off. You know, I've been working since I was 4 years old. I've not been without some form of a job, whether it is acting or working at waiting tables, working at nonprofits, whatever it may be, working selling clothes, um, or directing. You know, I've not been without a job, but at the same time, being able to represent and show all that we are. See, my mission in life is to show all that we are as Black folks. And that encompasses so many things. And I feel that my mission is to show that we are so much more alike than we are not. And there are other forces driving to make us feel that we have to create the Blackness as the conglomerate, and then we're all of these bunch of subsidiaries, right? There's Black heterosexual man, there's Black heterosexual woman, there's Black queer man, Black queer woman, Black trans man, Black trans woman, and it's just like, we're Black. And for myself, I lead with that, and I just want us to see how much alike we actually are, so that we can really, really, truly come together and realize that we're just stronger together. We just are. It's just fact.
So, I mean, Jabari, then for your character in the film, what did you want to bring to the role? Because again, it is sort of so dense with the emotion, as well as portraying, a queer Black man in 2024. Again, what were you hoping to bring to the audience with your character?
You're on mute, Jabari.
Yes,
Okay.
not sure if you guys can hear my background, so I was just trying to keep the extra noise to a minimum. What I really wanted to bring to this role was true authenticity, but also awareness. You know, representation is very scarce amongst community, and Damien is a man just like any other man in this world who happens to have to who happens to be in another relationship with another man,
Yeah.
who just really wanted a whole family with full love, no boundaries, no limits, just like any other family. So it's just the awareness of anybody can have love, and everybody deserves love, and everyone deserves a family with unconditional.
Mm.
Yeah, no, well said. I hear you on that, because again, another thing that the film manages to do so well is sort of balance these deep-rooted, serious issues and you offset it against comedy and lightheartedness. And I guess that's where Vivica's role and character comes in and sort of does so well. And in fact, I researched that you even called the character Cassandra that she plays Viv originally. So you kind of
yeah, originally, and the because it was always her. It was always her. I couldn't visualize anyone else playing this character other than Viv. And so when I made the whole, like, kind of the Bible of the film, it was, we had the characters, and it was the characters really were named. You know, my character was not named Jason at first; it was just Jay, because that's what I'm called, you know, on the side. So it was like, I knew that I was that character. I knew that Viv had to be Cassandra. So it wasn't too far past that I knew that Jabari also had to be Damien. But you know, it was always Viv. It just was, you know. And she is just such a say it again.
I think if I was going to say, what was it about Jabari that made you draw to him?
I'm very close with him, and we've worked together. I cast him as DC in his first feature film role in B-Boy Blues, which was my directorial debut for a feature film. It was my feature film directorial debut. And he just killed it. And the thing is that he is, by all means, you know, he's a leading man, but he's also a trained actor and a character actor. And so, you know, if you look at the role that he plays in DC, very few people even realize that it's the same actor, because, you know, as DC, he's playing like a 24-year-old kid, and he's, you know, he's barefaced, and he's just this guy who's just a jokester and crazy and all of this type of stuff. And then here we have Damien and Jabari sitting up in here looking like Teddy Pendergrass. So, you know, we have that, and it's just, you know, I think that everybody that I wanted to work with on this project, they had to have a certain level of authenticity, as he said, also a certain level of pure heart, you know. And I think that he's one of the purest hearts that I know. And Vivica is the same way. And so I really want to, if I can control the situation and if I get to choose who I want to work with, I want to work with good people. I want to work with people that I like and that I really, really respect. So, you know, that's just why it was always them. Just visually, I always saw them. And, you know, looked at a couple of other actors just in the process for Damien, but it always came back to Jabari.
Okay.
Thank you, Jussie.
You're welcome.
Well, I mean, we mentioned before 8 years in the making, 11 days to shoot.
Yeah, right? 8 years in the making, and then we got to do this in 11 days.
I mean, how was that for both of you, working in kind of such a rigid time frame?
I think somehow it was better for us this time. I mean, I don't want to speak for Jabari, but you have to realize, like, he and I had been through this before on B-Boy Blues, and B-Boy Blues was, in a sense, for myself, it was simpler because I wasn't in the film, but it was also more difficult because we were shooting right at the tail end of COVID. We shot this in October. We shot B-Boy Blues in October of 2020. So that was right when the industries first started coming back to shooting projects. So we had all of these, you know, COVID things that we had to go through and all of the protocol. And, you know, we shot for 11 days. It ended up being 12 because we had a COVID scare on set, which was a false positive, but we had to, it still, you know, made us have to shut down set and get back, you know, a couple days later. You know, so this was a task, but it wasn't a task that we weren't used to, that we hadn't already tackled. And so also having my people there, like having him there, having the DP, my DP Jody Williams, who I've worked with all of the episodes that I directed on Empire and my music videos and B-Boy Blues and now the Lost Holiday. He's always been my cinematographer. So there were people that were running with me that had already kind of run a similar race with me already.
Okay.
Yeah, that was strict. It was strict, but it was fun. And the reason why we worked so well together and was able to get it done in its completeness is because I really felt like Jussie was really focusing on making an ensemble for this film. And yeah, that's I think that was the main focus. So that's is what eased us through the complications of set, you know?
Okay. Well, Jussie, as for yourself, you got many sort of titles you can go by: actor, writer, director, hairstylist.
Hairstylist.
Hairstylist. I saw that
You
scene.
saw me braid. Oh my.
Okay.
Jemima, wait, hold on. You might be
Not
my
only
favorite
that,
person.
not only that,
You
he was
might be
doing.
my favorite person because nobody catches that I know how to properly braid. Okay.
Okay.
Listen, we grew up. First of all, let me shut up because I just got excited. I love when people see things and they're like, yeah, you get it. Let me shut up. Let me let you finish your question. I'm sorry.
No, to be fair, that was kind of it in the sense of, yeah, where did you get the skills from?
My mom, we used to have to, my mom was so specific about that. The boys in the family had to know every single thing, how to do it. And they had to know how to do every single thing. And there was no such thing as, now there were certain things that like, there was only the boys' responsibility. Like the girls never took out the trash growing up, ever, not one time. But there were certain things that we all had to know how to cook. We all had to know how to braid. If my little sister, if Journey had to get her hair braided, you know, she would braid her hair late at night before she's going to bed. I would be responsible for doing that. Or my older brother would be responsible for doing that. No more than my older sister would be responsible for doing that. So I know how to braid. I know how to, I know how to detangle your hair. I know how to do that. I ain't gonna say I could give you no fly cut of color, but
okay.
Like what you got going on, Jemima, that's fly.
Fine.
I can't do that. I can't do that. But if you need me to give you a strong ponytail or a strong plait, I got you.
He had all our hairstyles ready
Better than
for
nothing.
Got you.
Jabari,
And I really wanted to. That's something.
where are you at on the skill sets?
Yeah.
Where am I at? I could do a nice little ponytail, you know.
Okay.
Nice little ponytail. A nice little slick back, you know.
Okay.
I mean, I make a slide in a little bang if you want, but I don't know.
Please, the next
Don't
film.
trust me too well. I'm a good washing set. I do a washing set and you're good with me.
But honestly though, that was very important to us, you know, to show, you know, I think there's something so beautiful about seeing a Black man braiding a little Black girl's hair. You know, there's something it's so wholesome to me, you know, that it would be, I make sure that my niece, that she knows every single day how beautiful her fro is, you know, how beautiful her natural hair is, and whatever she wants to do with her hair. If she wants to straighten it, she want to wear a wig, she wants whatever she wants to do, she should be able to do. But in the process, I want to let her know that her natural crown is beautiful and that she is perfect and she is just everything. So in order to do that,
again, that is noticeable because the beautiful London Carter.
Yes.
There were scenes with it just being out.
It was so important to us, so important. And her mom, Cecily, who I've known for years, you know, I've known London her entire life because she's my real life niece's best friend in real life. My real life niece is the one who told me to cast London.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, you know, just, it was so important. You can ask Cecily, London's mom. I was very much so like, can we get the fro? Can we just have the fro? I wanted to look like it was braided. And then she woke up and we took it out. I wanted to, you know, always, we have to celebrate. It's our responsibility as adults to make sure that children feel that they know how necessary all of what they are and who they are, that they should show up exactly as they are and do not water yourself down. Unapologetic.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And again, be it that you're able to do that through your films. I mean, imagery is so important, and you're right. Probably between the three of us, we weren't seeing that imagery growing up.
No, we were not. We were not. And that's not to take anything, because Lord knows, you know, we grew up with so many incredible, you know, Black artists that were doing the thing, but it is our responsibility as the generation after them, after the Whitney Houstons and after the, you know, the Angela Davises and these incredible people, it's our responsibility to carry on that legacy and push it further so that anything that they were not able to do, any way that they were held back from truly being their most authentic selves. Well, we have the opportunity to be our most authentic selves, and we should.
I mean, I feel like you've answered the question already, but that was going to be my next question, that because of recent Black women, they have been more open in highlighting that when they do go on a film set, they don't have the right hairstylist there, makeup artist, maybe
Sure.
the right shade. So as a director, is that something that you're mindful of?
Absolutely. You have to remember that not only am I an actor, not only am I a director, but I also am the brother of, in my opinion, one of the greatest actors of our generation, which is my dear Jussie Smollett. So I've also seen what she goes through and what she has gone through as a little Black girl on mostly all white sets. I've seen what my mom, that she never worked with the hairstylist on those sets. She never worked on, it was my mom who was doing her hair, braiding her hair. And, at times when people would say, can we straighten her hair or make her look a little bit more, quote unquote, racially ambiguous, or back then they used to use the term mulatto, remember that?
Yeah.
And my mom would always say, absolutely not. We're going to braid her hair, and we're going to make sure that everybody knows this is a little Black girl, and that's what it is. So I saw with growing up what she went through and how she navigated, even though she's younger than me. I saw the way that she navigated through all of that. And so it's something that I'm very aware of. I saw how Taraji made sure that she had Black folks on set doing her hair, whether they were doing her natural hair, which she wore her natural hair, or whether she was wearing a wig, she made sure. So I'm watching all of that. I'm watching what makeup artists are putting, they're putting cake foundation on people to make them look paler. All of those things matter to me. So when I'm able to be in a position, such a blessed position that I'm so grateful for, to be able to have control over that somehow, it's my responsibility to do the right thing. And I always want people to walk away saying, yo, he represented us and he protected us as best as he could.
No, well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And speaking of which, there was a line that stood out to me, was early on, that Black people don't do therapy, along those lines. So on the one hand, it tickled me, but it goes to show, isn't it, that sort of in the collective Black psyche, it's always been this: you don't talk about your problems to strangers.
Right.
So again, of the many themes that the film highlights, again, if you could sort of explain a bit more, is that something that's close to both of your hearts?
For me, Jabari, you want to take that first?
I think my answer is going to be shorter.
Your answer is always going to be shorter than my long answer.
Okay.
long answer. My bad.
I really do feel like it's, I think therapy has always been a complicated thing for our community, because Black people find it's hard for Black people to find a safe space.
Yeah.
So the reason why Black people don't go to therapy is because of the safe space issue. And that's it. And that's why my answer is going to be short.
I mean,
it's true though. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, therapy for me is something that I'm not ashamed to say that I'm in therapy, and and that for me, it's like having a trainer for your mind, right? And some people can go to the gym and just work out, and bravo for you. That ain't me. Like I like to run, but I'm not necessarily a person that I want to work out, but I'm not necessarily a person that is, I might need somebody to guide me, at first. It's the same way for me with therapy. That's the best way that I can compare it to, is that sometimes you need someone who is unbiased, that also is not affected by the issues that you have. And sometimes it helps to talk to someone else. And here's the thing, I would never dare judge anyone that is not going to therapy. I would simply say that for myself, it has helped a great deal. And, you know, as you get older and just all of the things of life that life throws at you, whether good, bad, or in between, to have somebody to talk to in what should be a safe space is important. So, you know, just again, just opening up. I'm not a pastor, so I don't want to preach to folks. I don't, you know, there's no, you know, some ill intention or anything like that. It simply is to hold up a mirror to you, and then you can make the decision. This is just a piece of art. It's a piece of art, and it's debatable, and you can however it affects you is how it should affect you. And it's a mirror, and it's not in any way to tell you what to do. It's just to hold up a mirror, and so that you can ask yourself, what should you do?
Absolutely. And thank you, Jussie, for inspiring us to go to therapy.
Lord.
I've never been to therapy, but I always had the urge to go, but never had the security for myself to go.
Yeah.
You know,
I would urge everyone to try and go just once. Just try and go just once.
Yeah.
And there are so many resources out there that help, and you'll end up talking about some stuff that you're just like, wow, I didn't even realize that is what was the thread that led me to this, and this right here is what led me to this. And it's trying to find a way of putting it all into perspective is not always easy to navigate. And so to have someone there to kind of counsel you through it can be helpful. It can.
Yeah, no, you really touched on something with the couples therapy there, because it's just so layered, where Black gay men speaking in a safe space,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's a powerful imagery once again.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that you got the stuff that we was trying to get.
Man,
I feel like you really got
yesterday.
I'm so
I was
grateful.
zoned in. I was absolutely zoned
Thank
in.
you. Thank you.
Well, just finally then, guys, what can we expect from you next? 2024 is nearly drawing to an end. You already got plans for 2025?
Yeah. Jabari, you want to take that?
we'll see.
Well, I'm
My
hoping
plan.
there's gonna be a scene with you doing a updo with
Excuse me.
I hope there's gonna be a film of you doing someone's hair and putting it up into an updo.
There you go.
Hopefully. Hopefully, you know, I'm really hoping to play some type of biopic sometime soon. And hopefully get to work with Jussie again
Definitely.
this next year. So yeah, I'm excited for my future. But I'm more excited about September 27th when this movie airs.
Oh.
Yeah, we're coming to theaters in the States September 27th, AMC theaters, and then we are currently in deep talk, so we'll about trying to bring it to the UK. So hopefully at least by the top of the year, y'all will get this little piece in house. You know, and other than that, we'll be releasing music. I have new music that's coming, and a lot of it is on the soundtrack. It's just like, you know, embedded in there. And we're shooting in the next film, and then hopefully by the top of the year, and then we have another film that I wrote that takes place here. So hopefully we do that by summer, and yeah, it's an exciting all Black thriller. So it'll be exciting.
It sounds good. Hopefully you get more than 11 days.
Listen, I hope, I think I'm gonna I think I need at least a good 13 or 14 for this one. But you know, we'll make it work. We are so grateful to have this platform. I feel almost sometimes I feel corny saying that all the time, but I do feel like it's important. It's better to say thank you to God and the universe and my ancestors. It's better to say thank you too much than to not say it enough. So, you know, I'm just so grateful to still be here. I'm so grateful to still be alive, you know, and to have my mind, and to, you know, things in life can happen, man, that will end up being your villain origin story if you let it. And you know, but if you keep on moving and you keep on knowing who you are and standing in your truth, then that's all we can do. So I'm grateful to be sitting here talking to you. I'm grateful to have been working with someone as incredible of a person as Jabari and this whole cast. So I'm just thank you. And the Lost Holiday is coming.
Okay, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Jemima.
Yeah, have a good rest of the day. I was
You
going to
too.
say we could have got into it on those final points because I'm so big on the self-improvement, spirituality, but
it's so important. It's so important. And I hope that we all, you know, just the message that I just want for people to know is just be kind to yourself, because the world is difficult, but the world is not conspiring against you. The world, because someone that might be conspiring against you, they are not the world. The universe is not conspiring against us. It actually is celebrating us and pushing us forward. It is.
Well, one thing I've come across is because it's so easy, isn't it? You always hear, love yourself, love yourself. What does that mean? What does it look like? How do you action that? And something I read recently and it resonated was to love yourself like your own child, you know,
Yes.
your own human being, and it's your responsibility to look after and to love yourself.
Love that.
And once you start talking to yourself the way that you would talk to your child, or the way that you would talk to whomever is the person that you're the most tender and gentle with, the second you start talking to yourself like that, that's when you get it.
We could go off on a
listen, we gonna have to have listen, we coming back to London, we gonna have to chill because you know you get it. You get it. Yeah, this was the way to end our little promo tour, because this is very like it's I personally feel very, you know, full right now after this. So thank you.
All right, guys, take care.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.